Hello, everyone. My name is Alan Horton. Today, I'm going to be giving a presentation on how AI intersects with Christianity. I used Gamma in order to make my AI slides, which turned out great, just like I used in my last presentation. Made everything just the way I wanted them from my prompt about, bringing AI to the table and bringing Christianity to the table and dealing how do we implement a biblical worldview from ChatGPT that I got. Gamma turned out to work wonderfully and give great details. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Okay, so getting started here, how AI intersects with faith, inviting AI and Jesus both to the table, exploring responsible AI use through a theological lens for Christian leaders, church tech teams, and faith-based thinkers, as well as, Christian businesses. Inviting AI to the table. Ethan Mollick, a leading AI expert, suggests that we should treat AI not merely as a final stage tool, but as an active collaborator from the very beginning of any creative or problem-solving process. And throughout the chapter of our textbook, Mollick explains that in order to bring AI to the table, you have to have this knowledge that AI will make hallucinations and mistakes. But this is, the predictable thing about AI, that it's not always right. There's always a chance of it being wrong because it's, man-made. Not anything that's man-made is perfect. But this almost is the good part of AI, if you will, that it gives creativity and it gives randomness. You won't get the same answer over and over again. So it just, brings a new way of looking and making new things. You have here as AI as a creative, letting AI generate initial concepts, critical feedback, option generating, and collaborative thinking. This is, all ways that AI is helpful tool for us. Now, when you get into the depth of inviting Jesus to the table, we commit to approaching AI with foundational Christian values. This means intentionally seeking God's wisdom in every decision related to AI, which is honoring God, uplifting others, truth, and ethics. And this brings me to a point from the video that Dr. Jones posted, that from the article that he wrote, which was, we are stewards of the earth made in God's image. As we continue to make new and different things, we need to be worshiping God and exemplifying him, which even includes harnessing and creating AI. To exercise his dominion demands ongoing creativity, which I just really, really stuck with me, because I'm like, that's true. In order to be having full dominion of the earth, we need to be creating new things and not being lazy. That's a very big thing in the Bible. And that when we're creating new things, is inviting Jesus into the table with us. We just have to make sure that we are following his guidelines and rules throughout the scripture, as we would in any other part of our life. So then we get to AI's knowledge versus God's omniscience. Mullet astutely points out that AI doesn't genuinely know anything. Its capabilities are built on predicting patterns from vast data sets, essentially generating sophisticated responses without true comprehension or inherent understanding. So AI, while it is a beautiful tool and it can just in milliseconds have a long list of results from the internet that you were looking for, knows anything that's out on the internet. It is not all knowing or omniscient whatsoever. It still makes mistakes. There's times it says, I don't know, let me know if this is what you were wanting. It's never completely 100% perfect. Unlike God's true wisdom, which is omniscient, perfect without flaw, complete, encompassing all present, past, and future. God knows everything and is 100% perfect, which is nothing man-made that we could ever begin to comprehend. We have a biblical worldview for generative AI, which is protecting dignity, seeking truth, promoting good, serving others. You have to have a worldview when you're thinking about generating AI, which brings me to the second video that Dr. Jones posted, which was, God is a creative being, and since we are made in his image, we should be creative too, even if it involves AI. God called us to be stewards and manage the earth, which is actually an act of worship. To the question, isn't creating AI and creating this thing in a new being, isn't that just playing God in a sense? And the answer to that is, creating isn't playing God. It is reflecting his creative nature that's inside of us. God created us and he wants us and calls us to be more like him. So in that sense, we should be trying to create new things and glorify him throughout our lives and throughout the technology. And this is seen throughout AI. And I believe that we need to continue to enhance this. Thank you.